Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Akakwada, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to title this video. I had a couple of titles in my head, but I think I'm going to entitle this video The Roman Empire, the Money System, and Nero and Prophecies. So we do know through the Spirit that Nero is back as now he's a President Trump. We strongly believe that through the Spirit. When you do comparisons on Nero and Trump, that, you know, you're reading about the same people, the same person, in different times of his history. So, you know, he's back, and, you know, he's an important figure in the Roman Empire because he's a wicked man, and he was responsible for the executions of at least two. If I go into the history, which I'm not going to do right now, leave that to somebody else. The 11 of the apostles were put to death during the reign. It had to be during the reign of Nero, but I do know for a fact that he signed off on the execution deaths, or the deaths of the apostle Peter, the head apostle, and the apostle Paul. We go into the history. Apostle Peter was hung upside down at his request. He didn't feel it was he would dishonor his Lord and Savior, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, by being hung right side up. So hang me upside down. Apostle Paul was not hung on the cross. He was not crucified because he was a Roman citizen, and Roman citizens didn't receive that brutal execution, so they were more humane. They just chopped his head off. So Nero's back. You got to pay for his sins. What you're doing now and what you did back then in your previous lives. Did not King Solomon, have to pay for the sins that he committed when he was Solomon? There's no record of him being scourged by men. So that means, you know, if the Most High don't get you in this life, he'll damn sure get you in the next. And he dealt with Solomon when he came back as Yahweh Shai. Something that Christians don't. Another thing, when you're dealing with Christians, you control the narratives. They don't like it. We don't got to talk. Well, we're going to have we're going to have a discussion on what I say. If you don't like it, you can keep it moving. Remember, you Christians need us. We don't need you. Vocab needs us. We don't need him. Okay? If he went back to teaching these Christian sermonettes, nobody would listen to him. And that's a fact. You got to put Israel in the mix. Anyway. I wanted to go into the topic dealing with Nero and the modern today's Nero, which is Trump. And I said that, and I'm the one that first coined it. You know, Trump and Nero is the same. Now, and that's my opinion through the Spirit, and other brothers, men of GMS, they see it too. They didn't just say, well, Tahar said it, I'm going to... No, they did the research, and they said it makes a lot of sense. Makes all the sense in the world. Can I actually prove it? No, we'll know in the kingdom. But we know he had to be one of them. He had to be one of them Caesars. How the fuck you going to become a president of the United States when you wasn't a dog catcher? You had no type of job dealing with government. You wasn't a dog catcher. You wasn't a fucking street sweeper. You wasn't a cop on a beat. You know, police officers, you know, your beat cops, as they call cops, meaning constables on patrol, they can go up in the rankings, right? Hey, look at the mayor of New York. He was a transit officer. And he became the mayor. And he can be the governor, you know? And his corrupt ass. I haven't seen such corruption since the Tammany Hall days. Anyway, before I go into it, I wanted to deal with this. Okay, let me see here. Give me a second. Okay, this is the last video I did. Yes, Diddy. Buy the truth and sell it not. Stop being a hustle prophet. And this is about, if you didn't see the video, watch the video. A little bit, almost 25 minutes long, short video. This is Ariala of Sakari out of Philly. He had a thing, he was going in on, all he was speaking about, and actually it says must watch. Ariala Sakari responds to SOT, Israelites, new doctrine about Christ pre-incarnation. And basically, when you watch this video, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched like 30 some odd minutes of it. That he, you know, when John in St. John 1 verse 15, he's speaking about the Messiah. So I believe SOT is not speaking about it. But whatever the case is, because I'm not going to purchase their video. You got to purchase that sermon dealing with John chapter 1. So Ariala Sakari, that's what I'll call him since his name is that way, priest or whatever title he is. He had got on the phone with the brother, which SOT is not down with Sakari. But they still exchange. I'm not into that. Like I said, I'm not into like giving my number out. I just ain't. Hey, there's certain women. Hey, there's certain women when we had cell phones and beepers. If I dealt with a woman, I give them my beeper number, and I wouldn't use. I don't know. I ain't got no cell number. I give a beeper number and I'll call from a pay. That's back when you had a pay phone, but I had a cell phone. I don't just give my number out like that. You know. Anyway. And he said he spent 2 hours and 16 minutes on the phone with the dude. First of all, we're not in the thing. Well, the guy can't get it. Let me make him get it. You can't make him get it because there's certain people set up to not to get it. There's nowhere in the scripture where it says keep trying and tell the guy no. The only ones that's their eyes are gonna be open are the elect. If you're not the elect, you can spend 2 days talking to the guy. He ain't gonna get it. Anyway, there was interesting. And it's right here. I know some history of this SOT, and I did mention it in this video. So let me see what else is up here. Okay, so this is this right here is put up. I saw this in my feed late last night. I watched the whole video. I hope you didn't spend no money, brother. I hope you didn't waste your money. Or maybe the video with Sakari. It says I saw the feed, watched the whole video. If it's okay, I wanted to give you a very, very, very quick idea of what was brought out in the video. The primary issues, John 1:1, Sons of Thunder, put a presentation together to show that the word wasn't our Lord Yahweh Shai. Sons of Thunder clumsily went into Greek citing the word logos. And I'll give you the backstory on the head dude of the SOT. To say they started, the brothers used to watch GMS. You know, he used to go to the camp, and he would be in the audience with the GMS Atlanta. That the father was, I'll go into that, was not with Yahushua in the beginning, but the father was merely with his word or his own thoughts. Yeah, now that's a new thing. Oh, the Yahushua is really Yahweh. His name is Yahweh, and we don't know who Yeshua. Look, Nate just brought that up. The father never dealt with us. And that's something that Comfy brought up. It says, anyway, discrediting our Lord Yahushua and his name is a trend. Right, he says it is a trend now with IUIC, a new Old Testament only group named gods, I'll say, or goes, and now Sons of Thunder, I guess. So he mentioned IUIC because he said, we never dealt with the Father. We only dealt with the Son. My question to you is, was Isaac, who was speaking to Abraham when Isaac was about to be sacrificed? Yahweh and his son are definitely near in these last days, the water. So the water for that. So now, let me read this here. This is put up by Remnant Say 144, which this is Yashawamba and the men of GMS Dallas, right? It says Shalom Apostle. Now, he doesn't say that he's Yashawamba because Ariala, the elder Ariala also uses this page too, but I'm assuming that it's Elder Yashawamba. It says Shalom Apostle, the head of Sons of Thunder, Joel, which I knew the name, used to listen to GMS Atlanta when Yaradan, I don't know if y'all remember Yaradan, all right, good brother, came to my house a couple of times, came up here a couple of times, you know. I hope he's well. Yaradan was the head. When I went out there to visit, Joel, which is the head of SOT, was in the crowd learning. So he was following GMS according to what's being said right here. After Yaradan was kicked out, Joel went to GMS Atlanta page mocking them, saying they were jealous of Yaradan. Okay, so Joel is saying that Yaradan, the spirit is dealing with that guy, the spirit ain't dealing with you guys, even though it's the same camp. Even though they were part of the same camp. My question is, why didn't he follow Yaradan? Yo, brother, I want to follow you. We can set up, whatever the case may be. And weeks later, popped up teaching where the GMS Atlanta camp used to teach before Yaradan was kicked out. So he went to that camp where we, building on another foundation, right? So obviously he wasn't following the so-called GMS doctrine. He was following the brother that he liked, which is Yaradan. The rest of them brothers are F y'all. The most I ain't dealing with you guys. It says from there he followed Zabak, which Zabak teaches certain things that we don't, contrary to what we teach. Give me a perfect example, the MOTB. Zabak says the MOT, however he says it, he doesn't say it's he doesn't agree that it's the microchip. Now we got into it with this SOT about the microchip and the mark of the beast, and they said pretty much the same thing that Zabak said. So, but I guess when he was listening to GMS Atlanta and Yaradan and the rest of the men, I know at one time or another they had to be speaking about the mark of the beast. So I guess he was following it, right? And eventually broke off and became Elder Yoel of the SOT. So I did this video showing you that this, and that's why I call it Buy the Truth and Sell It Not. Stop being a hustle prophet. He's the number the hustle prophet. He got the Patreon thing. You'll never get a Patreon page out of us. When you go to Patreon, you better have money in your credit card, because you got to buy shit. All right, $16.20 with tax. So Sakari Arialis purchased it, called it brother. I don't know why you call that brother. He ain't gonna change because he's not one of the elect. If he's teaching some crap like this. So you got a lot of these Israelite groups that just pop up that they would never come on the scene had we never got on YouTube. If none of the former One Westers got on YouTube, none of these guys would be out there. They'd be doing what the fuck they been doing before they became an Israelite. They'd be, purse snatchers, stick up kids, drug dealers, nigga living off his woman, or whatever the case may be. They be niggas, all right? Oh man, I'm a Hebrew Israelite now, and I'm a prophet, Yeah, they got the name. How about Hashem? They got, but no, the Spirit's dealing with me. Oh, so the Spirit, okay, all right. So the Spirit's dealing with you exclusively, but you call on the same name that we call on. Come on, get out of here, man. Anyway, so I wanted to speak on that, but now let's go into. I didn't set nothing up. Anyway, I put in money and Nero. Emperor Nero, which this is definitely got to be through the Spirit. Trump is collecting all that money with Doge. They're cutting all. First of all, you know what they're doing? They're cutting all these government jobs because they're going to replace everything with AI. That's what they're going to do. Let's see what happens. They're gonna get rid of every living person, and robots are gonna control that shit. So what's coming out of the government workers are gonna be robots, by estimation. But so that's how they present it, because they ain't telling you the full. So they ain't telling you why they doing this. And if you can push a human out and put a robot there, you don't got to pay a robot. You got to, maintain a robot, have a mechanic, whatever, maintain a robot, and that's it. Robots don't call out sick. They don't need no lunch break. They don't need no days off. Christmas time, they can still be working as a robot. So that's what I strongly believe that they're going to do. And it tells you, as I read this, that this guy was a big spender. He spent a lot of money. He liked to live an extravagant lifestyle. Mar-a-Lago. You go there, that's money. You better have some money. You better be a millionaire to go through them doors. It says, during the reign of Emperor Nero, aka Trump, the Roman Empire faced a fiscal crisis, and we'll look into that in a minute. Which we're suffering a fiscal crisis, right? Nero's extravagant spending. He's spending like there was no tomorrow. Which Jake does. You got certain Jakes in the NBA that go broke. There's others that they become richer. Because they like to live that. First of all, you're gonna get these extra, extra, extra fine woman, you're gonna get the finest of the women. Because what are these women, these Jake women, these Edomite, mostly Jake women, they're trained hoes, and who trained them? Their mother. Their mother a hoe, trained them how to be a hoe. Get you a nigga with the most money that you can get you a baller, you know, and you live an extravagant lifestyle. You have a couple of babies. When the money starts dwindling, you know, you divorce the guy, and you get your support, you know, and you Jakes don't really understand, man. You don't understand. Hey, the best way to be, if you was a sports figure, just be a player, man. just be a womanizer, like Babe Ruth. That Dominican Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is a Dominican, by the way. He's one of us. Okay, pass him for white. Anyway, yeah, you can't be, oh, I'm in love, we're going to get married, we're going to have kids. Yeah, you'll get married, you have kids. And those kids are more ammunition to get more money. You're going to have to pay child support and spousal support. And if you, and they go by a percentage. So and then they got coaches out there, they got managers that tell you about women. And the nigga hey, you ain't talking about my girl. No, you ain't talking about her. Yes, she is. What's this guy? He's out of the news. The brother that played under damn, what is his name? Primetime, Showtime, whatever. Oh damn, what the fuck is his name? Anyway, he got the Mexican chick. She all right. That's about it. She ain't all that. And she just a hoe. And people telling her she is straight up hoe. You know, she gonna steal your money. He don't want to see it because he's in love. All right, but he'll learn the hard way. It says costly wars. This guy Trump, he's pretty much saying, oh, Ukraine should have never gotten a war. Ukraine never got a war in the first place. It was an invasion by Russia. He's taking a side. He's having meetings with Trump. I mean, Trump is having meetings with Putin about, and saying the Ukraine, the leader of Ukraine, Zelensky, just give it up. And we ain't gonna send you money or weapons. Just give it up. And he even made another statement. He said Ukraine will be a part of Russia. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me, do the fact checking. Ukraine was part of the Russian that land mass. Ukraine was under the USSR, which is now known as Russia. It said costly wars, right? It says Nero's extravagant spending, costly wars, because he's talking about taking Canada. That's a war. He's talking about taking Mexico, Greenland. He changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And now these nations are mad at him, man. Now we understand, but we've been understood it. But when you read Revelation chapter 17, verse 12 on down, and him and his vice president, he went out to Europe and he cursed out the NATO nations, and for that matter the EU nations, because it's the same. NATO and EU is the same. And he pretty much cursed them out. You can go to J.D. Vance's speech, his recent speech. He's cursing these people out. So you're making enemies with, and instead of making friends, you're making enemies. And especially, something's going to happen where the leader of Russia, if he's Putin at that time, or someone else, they're going to say, destroy this goddamn place, which is Babylon the Great. And natural disasters led to inflation. And I see we're in an inflationary period as of Biden getting in there, and we see the prices. Hey, Trump said day one he's gonna bring the prices down. Guess what? Day one the prices went up. He's been here for almost a month, few days shy of a month, and prices are gonna go up. And don't be surprised if you experience hyperinflation. and a devaluation of the Roman currency. How do they devalue the currency? They devalue the currency in this system in the U.S. by printing extra paper dollars and creating digital dollars on in the central bank. You know, the central bank, which is owned by the Feds, the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private corporation, quasi-governmental. And so what Nero did to the currency, devalued. And now what they did back then, because they dealt with coins, if it was a silver coin, which is a denarius, or a gold coin, which is the aureus, right here it says aureus, which is a gold coin, and denarius, which is a silver coin. Like today in America, true money is gold and silver. So let's read it again. During the reign of Emperor Nero, the Roman Empire faced a fiscal crisis. We're facing a fiscal crisis. Fiscal meaning money. Nero's extravagant spending. So all that money that he's cutting, he's how can I say, he's pretty much destroying, doing away with without the blessing of Congress. You can't do that. You're not a lawmaker. You're not a part of Congress. You're a part of the what do you call it? You have the legislative, the executive, which is you guys. Executives execute, right? And you have the Supreme Court, which is which is the judicial. Congress makes laws. Somebody's violated by a law written by Congress. It goes up to the courts. It goes up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court overturns and said, no, that law is not constitutional, so it's no longer law. The executive the president does not make laws. He just enforces the laws. He doesn't make laws. And when you go into the history, and I may go into this too, when you go into the history, most of these emperors that were assassinated, who assassinated them? Who assassinated them? Matter of fact, let me go over here. Well, what does this have to do with the scriptures? It has everything to do with the scriptures. If you really a scholar in the scriptures, and especially in the New Testament, you gotta have someone. You gotta speak on the Roman Empire. The emperors are mentioned in the scriptures. Okay, give me a second here. Let me see how am I gonna do this. Who assassinated most of the emperors of Rome? Yeah, right on point. Praetorian Guard. The Praetorian Guard is the military. See, the military back then and now, they all take an oath to uphold the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Domestic meaning inside. So Trump is showing himself that he's somewhat of an enemy because he's going against the what do you call it? There's a balance there. Each branch of the government keeps the other in check, right? So in Rome, what they did when you had a madman that was an emperor, it was the Praetorian Guard, which was the military that took his ass out. It says, according to historical records, the group most responsible for assassinating Roman emperors was the Praetorian Guard. What do you think the Praetorian Guard is today? It's the military. It's the generals. It's the generals that make the decisions. You know, the top brass of the Roman Empire. They said this guy's a madman. He's crazy. We got to take him out. And what were they going to? Who was going to protect the emperor at that time? His protection was from the Praetorian Guard. But here the Praetorian Guard is looking to take your ass out because you a madman. You corrupt. You're so corrupt that we got to kill you. And then you got military dudes that are talking about they got fucking, you know, bamboozled by voting this guy. You got military guys saying they're losing their they treat veterans like shit when they come back from wars. You ever go into a veteran hospital? They treat them like shit. I know that for a fact. I had to go take my mother because my father was military, you know. He fought in World War II. And she had to get benefits, and we went into one of the offices, and you had these guys, they looked all fucked up, you know. You know, the war just fucked them up. And in that particular office, the furniture was all old and beat up, you know. They treat them like shit. You got a lot of these homeless people, a lot of them are military, you know. It says this elite military unit, this was like the Special Forces, the Green Beret, Navy SEALs, right? Are tasked with protecting the emperor. Their job is to protect the emperor. Their job is to protect the emperor. But these were men with brains, and a lot of them went up in the high order. A lot of them became Senate. A lot of them actually became Caesars, right? Was often involved in plotting or carrying out the murder of their leaders. Was it because the Praetorian Guard were corrupt? In some cases were, but in other cases, this guy's a madman. He's destroying the empire. We got to take him out. Contributing to the high rate of assassinations within the Roman Empire. I ain't making this up. Key points above the Praetorian Guard in the Roman Empire assassinations. Let me open this up. The shadow of the dagger assassination of Roman emperors. Right, you got Julius Caesar, the Ides of March, though not an emperor entitled Julius Caesar. Well, he was the first emperor. They just called him Caesar. Let me see. Causes of death among the Caesars, AD 4. Okay, this one Jake was ruling. Jake was killing Jake too. Key points: frequent involvement. Many historians agree that the Praetorian Guard was responsible for the deaths of a significant portion of Roman emperors, particularly in the early imperial period. That's when Esau was ruling. Political instability, he's not in here for, he's a few days shy of a month. And this guy just changed the whole country around, man. And Congress what the fuck is Congress doing? And you had the Senate in Rome, they were all old ass men, all rich old ass men. So the ones that had to take action were the military, the elite forces of the Praetorian Guard. It said the power dynamics within the Guard, or the Praetorian Guard, combined with the often volatile political landscape of Rome, created and they were all corrupt, created opportunities for them to manipulate or overthrow emperors. If you go to the year the year of the four emperors, that's when you got Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. Vespasian didn't die. Three emperors before him got put to death. One of them committed suicide. The other two got put to death by the Praetorian Guard. And they said it was Vespasian that was behind it. He had the ear of the Praetorian Guard. Because I believe he was a general too. Like I said, you got military men that came up in the rank. They became Senate. They went from Senate to being council. They went from council to being emperor. It said the Praetorian Guard might assassinate emperors to advance their own interests. So that was a corrupt system. Sometimes you had decent so-called emperors that they said, we got to take this guy out because I want to be the emperor. That's Esau, man. Oh, that's Revelation chapter 6. They shall kill one another, not too many words. They should be given a great sword. It says, support a favored successor or due to dissatisfaction with the emperor's policies. They're not with what this guy's doing. They're not with what this guy's doing. So let me come back over here. So money is important, and people are feeling it. People are losing it. People are losing jobs. They're working a job. Okay, you lost your job. What did I do wrong? We're cutting. There's no more whatever departments that was set up. He cutting all them departments. He's setting up his own departments, man. Through Doge, and the guy that he's dealing with is this guy, Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is top 4 or 5 guys. The youngest guy is 19 years old. The oldest guy is 25. These are kids. And they got dirt on them too. So something has to happen, man. Congress got to grow a backbone. The military's got to, they got to use their brains. This is disastrous for this system, but which we with that. Keep doing what you're doing, Trump. Keep doing you're doing a wonderful job. I don't see a new president coming up. I don't see him going his full term. And if he goes that far, he'll pass a law and say I'm the king, because he's sitting like a king. See, a king legislates and executes and judges. Okay, so it says debasement of the silver dollar, silver coinage under the Emperor Nero, right? Thus the generally accepted theory is that in order to refill the imperial treasury with Nero's follies, extravagant living, and vices had depicted, I'm not going to read the rest of it, history of hard money, the denarius, which is a silver coin, as opposed to the aureus, which is a gold coin. Just like in America, real money, real American money, the true money, constitutional money is gold and silver. Not the Federal Reserve, not the dollar bill, not paper money. And the majority of people in this country don't understand how money works. Even economists don't really understand. And the fall of the Rome vaulted, right? It said to cover his extravagant spending. He's just spending like it was going out of town, like it was going out of style. Emperor Nero instituted the first round of denarius debasement. So he had the debasement. Matter of fact, let me do this. Denarius debasement. denarius debasement in Rome Empire. Let me do it this way. Let me put in M-O-N-E-Y and do it this way. Empire, the money debasement was typically located. Debasement. Not basement. Debasement. The Roman Empire debased its currency by reducing the amount of silver in coins while keeping their face value the same. That's exactly what's happening now. So people are saying prices going up. Prices are not going up. The money is being devalued. They're creating digital dollars and paper dollars, and they're circulating it through the system. That's why your prices go up. That whole egg and chicken thing is BS, man. It says this was done to pay for the emperor's many expenses, including wars, civil unrest, and corruption. And all of them are corrupt. Congress people, senators, they go in middle class, they got little bullshit jobs, and they come out rich. They all come out as millionaires. How it happened, the denarius was originally a coin made of nearly pure silver. Over time, the amount of silver in the denarius was reduced. Okay, let me read this. Infographic, currency and the collapse of the Roman Empire. Roman debasement. The major silver coin used during the first 220 years of the empire was the denarius. I'm sorry, I couldn't see that. Denarius, I'm sorry. This coin between the size of a modern, I'm not going to read the rest of this, got to open that up. The rise and fall of sound money, ancient Rome. Roman currency debased, a brief history. How silver debasement led to the collapse of Rome. And how inflation or hyperinflation is going to be the collapse of this country. But what's going to collapse this country is ultimately the missiles. When you have a fiscal crisis, you call for a war. You make war, and then you have a reset. See, the problem that they have is they're not following the law of year of release every 7 years and a year of jubilee. That's why this whole system is about to collapse. It's like a house of cards. Eventually, the house of cards is going to collapse. America's nothing but a house of cards. And you have a madman in the office. He's doing what the hell he wants to do. So anyway, let me do this. Is the Roman Empire mentioned in the Bible? Yes, the Roman Empire is mentioned in the Bible, in the Old Testament, and in the New Testament. Wait a minute. Old Testament, the book of the Maccabees mentions Rome as a possible ally of the people of Judea. The Romans at that time were sons of Japhet. They were not Edomites. Edomites didn't come in to power until about the about 60 years BC, approximately. The New Treatment mentions the Roman Empire in several ways, including, what did Jesus say about the Roman Empire? It rejected authoritarian leadership. The Messiah rejected Rome's politics. You know that among the Gentiles, that is the Romans, those whom they recognize as their rulers lorded over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. He's talking about the Romans. When he opened up the Torah and he read Isaiah 61 and Luke chapter 4, he says to to heal the brokenhearted, to open up the prison. He was talking about the Roman Empire. And they wanted him out of there. Well, it was actually the Israelites that wanted him killed. The Romans really said, nah, this guy didn't do nothing wrong. But it was under the Roman authority, right? So there's some history on that. Does the Roman Empire appear in the Old Testament? Okay, let me see what this is all about. Let me see. The Bible does not specifically mention the Roman Empire, but it does refer to Rome, the capital of the Roman Empire. Where is it? Give me some precepts. What does the Bible say about the Roman? 12 answers. The Roman Empire during the time of Jesus. Okay, let me try this. So if you claim to be a Bible scholar, you know the Bible, you gotta, when you're reading these scriptures, you gotta go know some Roman history. Okay, I don't want this. And the Rome is mentioned in the scriptures, but in code. And when I go to the Bible Hub and you read certain scriptures, they'll all say the same thing. It's talking about Rome. It's talking about the Roman Empire. Okay, they're not giving me what the hell I want. Let me do this. Let me try this. I'm sorry. What does the Bible say about the Roman Empire? The Bible mentions the Roman Empire in the Old Testament. I guess I read that. Okay, here, this is what I want. What does the Bible say about Rome? So this site right here, if you put in what does the Bible say about, you put the word in, and it'll give you nothing but precepts. Luke 2. Okay, boom. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus. He was the longest ruling emperor. He ruled for 40 plus years. Some say 41, some say 44, 45. The next one, I believe, was Tiberius ruled for about 20 years. So they even mentioned the Caesar Augustus. And this proves that we were under Roman rule. Acts 17. That's when he was in Athens, Greece. Acts 6:1. Now in those days when the disciples, a number of the complaints of the Hellenists arose against the Hebrews, because it doesn't say Rome. Okay, good, beautiful. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Daniel 2:39-41. Another kingdom inferior to you shall rise after you, and yet a third kingdom of bronze, which this is ESV, which shall rule over all the earth. And there shall be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron, because iron breaketh to pieces and shattereth all. So this site right here is telling you that Daniel 2 verses 39-41 is referring to the Roman Empire. Now scholars will tell you, they'll agree. They'll say Daniel 2, go down to the end, almost at the end of the chapter, 39 verse 41, so forth. It's talking about the Babylonian, Medo-Persians, Greeks, and Romans. But they don't tell you, and they might say the Roman Empire came back as the Roman Catholic Church. No, it's not. It's only a part of it. That's three spurs like unclean spurs like frogs. One of them represents the Roman Catholic Church. Give me a second here and bear with me. Hey, do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom? The Romans are not going to inherit the kingdom. They're going to be slaves in the kingdom of the Most High. Do not be deceived. Neither the sexual immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, right? Nor men who practice the alphabet thing. That was big in Rome. They were openly. There was actually a book called the Book of Romans, as we all know. Claudius, the stepfather of Nero, he banished all of the Israelites. Matter of fact, let me do this. Come back over here. Why did Claudius banish the Jews and the Christians out of Rome? Emperor Claudius banished Jews from Rome in response to social unrest and political unrest. Us being on the highways and the byways, stirring up trouble. The unrest was likely due to disagreements between Jewish sects and tensions between Jews and Christians. Tensions between the Israelites and the Christians. You got vocab coming up. That's why you don't deal with them Christians. The Christians are non-people to us. They don't exist. Vocab roll up, call the cops on them. We don't need them. We don't need them. So I got to read this again. Emperor Claudius banished Jews, meaning Israelites, from Rome. Go to Acts 18, start from the first verse. In response to social unrest and political unrest. Hey, social unrest is coming back to this country for many, many reasons. The unrest was likely due to disagreements between Jewish sects, Israelite camps, and tensions between Jews and Christians. Now, the Christians back then were Jake were Israelites, you know, Paul, Peter, and them, they were considered Christians, right? Acts 11:26. And the Jews were like described in the Pharisees and said, you guys are doing this, and you're breaking this law, and we're going to kill you, and blah, blah, blah. But now you got the Christians, which these guys are not even Christians, they're Antichrist. Let me see. Something about the book of Romans that will help you. The scenario of strengthening it if we read the Roman, blah, 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 blah. Or they mention Suetonius. He mentioned all them Caesars at that time, and he mentioned the Israelite. He mentioned this historian. He mentioned the Messiah. He said, yeah, the Messiah, yeah, there was an actual Messiah. So even in your secular history, since the Jews constantly made disturbances at the instigation of Christus, which is the Messiah, the true Christians we are the true Christians. He, the Emperor Claudius, expelled them from Rome. So back then you had the Hebrew Israelite camps out there on the corners, cursing people out. And it's happening today. There's not enough of you out there, man. There's not enough of you out there. What happened to Christians and Jews during the Roman Empire? 330, I guess, I don't know. 330. This was AD, right? Something considered the start of the Byzantine Empire, which was Jake, and with the edit of the Thessalonica in 380, Christianity became the state church of the Roman Empire. This is when Jake was ruling. The Christian emperors persecuted their Jewish subjects and restricted their rights. There's a lot of information, man, out there. What emperor ordered the occupation of Britain and the expulsion of the Jews from Rome? Why were Jews expelled from England? All right, why were Jews expelled from England? It depends on which Jews you're talking about. The Italian financier moved in and took the position of moneylender to the crown. However, the Jews of England were made obsolete because of their economic obsolescence. The next logical action would be to expel the Jews from England. Now, it doesn't give me a year, but this, okay, let me see, expel from England, exclusion of the Jews. Okay, that was, these were these small hats. If you watch the last video that the Dollar Vigilante put up, which you can't, he got kicked off of YouTube a long time ago. If you go to Odyssey or you go to Rumble, matter of fact, let me bring it on up. See if it's still up. Okay, this is not what I want. Let me bring this back. I'm going to show you the actual video. I was watching it last night. So this is the video right here. This is the latest video he did. Good video. Jewish. Elon Musk living out his grandfather's dream of a NWO. This is the video right here. When it opens up, it gives you a list of all the places on the planet where the Jays got expelled. All right? Because of corruption. So anyway, let me do this. Let me give you a couple of precepts and let me close it. Basic precepts. Daniel. Let's go to Daniel real quick. Daniel 2. Okay, so I got to show you this because the blue letter even got it right. It said the king's dream, Daniel, this was Nebuchadnezzar, the interpretation, Babylon, the first kingdom, Medo-Persian, and Greece, and then Rome. And then they call us the divided kingdom. Right, and the divided kingdom is America, Canada, the EU nations, and the NATO nations. That's why J.D. Vance, watch the speech. J.D. Vance went over to, I don't forget what part in Europe he went to, and he was in front of the members, the heads of the, I believe the EU nation. No, it was NATO, but some of the NATO nations are also EU nations. So pretty much he cursed out the beast. So they got that hate for him. They're saying you guys ain't paying enough money, you ain't doing enough, you know. This you're not doing enough. Daniel 7 says that he was more stout than his fellows. You know, what's that talking about? So they call this they said the Roman Empire, right? Rome. And then they said the divided empire. Which this is, like I said, the divided kingdom. I said empire. The divided kingdom is America, Canada, the NATO nations, and the EU nations. You got Turkey that don't side with some of what the NATO nations is doing. It says, and in the days of the kings and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom. How is he setting up the kingdom? You got the brothers on the highways and the byways. Even outside of, not just GMS, but all them brothers that are outside that are really teaching the truth, they're part of this fold. If they call on the name of Yahweh Shai, they're breaking the scriptures down right, which shall never be destroyed. The gates of the build gates of hell shall not prevail. The gates of hell shall not prevail. You're not going to destroy this movement. Acts 5 and 38. If it be not of the Most High, it will come to naught. But if it is of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. At least happily meaning unless it happened that you fight against the Most High. So any of you that came up against us about the MOTB being a micro C hip, you're really cursing out the Most High. So guess what? Who's going to deal with you? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai going to deal with you. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. There's a future prophecy. The kingdom is not here yet, but it said the kingdom shall not be left to other people, meaning other nations. This kingdom is for the Israelites, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. What kingdom shall stand forever? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's kingdom. The rulership under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to be the Israelites under King David. Well, where's Solomon going to be? Well, Solomon is Yahweh Shai. Right, if the scriptures say in Hosea, there's a couple of places. In Hosea 1, Hosea 3, it says they shall appoint themselves one head. And Ezekiel 37 speaks about David, that the Most High is going to establish David. Well, where's Solomon in all this? Well, Solomon is Yahweh Shai. That's something that Christians don't understand. They don't understand the concept of reincarnation. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain, which that goes into 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Ezra saw it said cut out of the mountain. That's exactly what he said. Same language, right? The ship that or the chariot that Yahweh Shai, our Savior, was in, was so big it was big as a mountain. We don't know how big that was. Could have been as big as Manhattan. It's big enough to beam up all the elect. And that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great power have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation therefore is sure. So guess what? The Most High gave this heathen king, he showed him up until now. He showed him the point that he was living as king. He's the first king. He showed the Medo-Persians, the Greeks. He showed the Romans, and he showed the new revised Roman Empire, which is NATO, the EU, which includes America. And America is the woman. The Christians don't tap into this. All right, and then Daniel was promoted. And when you go to Daniel chapter 7, you go into all the scriptures that deal with the Roman Empire. Vision of the four beasts. The vision interpreted. Vision of the four beasts. So now scholars will tell you that this is Rome, ancient pagan Rome. But when did the Ancient of Days and the Son of Man and the angels come down and burn this beast? There's no history of that. That's talking about today. It's talking about now, the time that we're living in. And when you go to Revelation 6, back to the basics, when it speaks about a red horse, the white horse, the red horse. Okay, let me see. The white horse represents Yahweh Shai. Give me a second. Okay, the red horse represents Esau. And power was given to him that sat up thereon to take peace from the earth. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. That's Esau. And part of that is the fulfillment of the Roman Empire. They first came into a mighty world power 2,000 plus years ago. Then it revived out of Spain. We go through this all the time. Christopher Columbus. Why was Christopher Columbus able to come over here? Because the Most High put the spirit on him to come over here, man. Why did Christopher Columbus and his men enslave the Gadites and the Reubenites? Ultimately the Reubenites? Because the Most High put the spirit on them to do that. Why did they take the West? Because the Most High put the spirit on them to do that. Everything that this man does, hey, we ain't got no problem with Trump because he's doing what he's fulfilling prophecy. If Biden was in there or Kamala was in there, it would be a different course. You need a madman in the office, and he knows what he's doing because he did it before in a previous life. And I said in previous videos, and I'm gonna get ready to close. I'm gonna get ready to land this plane. My personal spiritual belief is that he will make the breaking news that everybody got to get chipped. And they're going to have meetings where all these world leaders are going to push the same thing. They're all going to have their similar speech. You got to get it's mandatory. You got to get this chip. And what they'll do is they'll probably use the disease for it, to push it. You know, if you get this chip, they're going to use all kind of shit. We don't know exactly how they're going to play it out, but everything is going to be in your chip. Anytime you want to buy or sell, you got to have that. You don't have the chip, we don't take paper money. We don't take credit cards. We don't take oh, you got what you call it, an app on your phone where your credit and your information is. Well, we don't deal with that no more. You got because we don't know if you stole that phone. We don't know if that phone's been hacked. So you got to have the chip. You got to have the chip. And I strongly believe, it's my belief, that he's going to be the guy that's going to truly push it, because he's nothing but a puppet. He's not. It was proven a couple of days ago that this guy is not the leader of this country. That Elon Musk is the leader, and Elon Musk is a puppet too. They talking about he's the richest man in the world. No, he ain't the richest man in the world. You don't know how the world history works. The super elite, the super rich, which are trillionaires, they don't want you to know what they got. They don't want to be. They want to play behind the scenes. The true power are the ones that play behind the scenes. So I believe he will push that microchip very soon, inside of months, and he will usher in the war of Armageddon, the destruction of this goddamn place. Now I don't know if he's going to be if he gets on a plane, if he's high enough on the totem pole, he'll be out of the country and he'll be good. But that's a good thing, because we're going to put Donald Trump into slavery along with the super elite. They're going to have everything, and then they're going to go for having anything. You know, you will own nothing and be sad about it. Right? Israel is a people for it to come. Anyway, with that, shalom, on to the next.